health coverage, UHC, and access to quality health care. No one must be left behind is the main goal of this SDG 3. So, for this session, we have two esteemed chairs. The senior chair is Dr. Rajni Bala, who is an associate professor and head of department of sociology, BUC College, Batla District, Gurdaspur, Punjab. She holds master's degree in three subjects, which are economics, sociology, library, and information science. She has also qualified UGC NET in two subjects and holds a PhD in sociology from Punjab University, Chandigarh. She has over 25 years of teaching experience, and to add, she has 15 publications and 78 paper presentations at national and international level conferences, workshops, and seminars. She is a life member of ISA, ISS, NWISA, and she is the convener of the RC10 Gender Studies ISS Specialization Youth in Higher Education, Gender Studies. Also, she is the NAC coordinator, BUC College Batla, convener of the Women's Health, convener of Internal Screening Committee, convener of the Grievance Redressal Cell, and so on. A warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, the co-chair is Dr. Nupur Patnaik, who presently teaches, she's not present with us currently, hope that she joins us very soon. So the co-chair is Dr. Nupur Patnaik, who is presently teaching sociology at the Department of Sociology, Central University of Odisha. She has completed her PhD in sociology from Ravenshaw University, Odisha. She has qualified UGC NET in sociology and specializes in migration and gender studies. She has been working as a faculty of Ravenshaw University, Odisha, and is also part of the All Institute of Medical Sciences, Bhubaneswar. She has published many articles in reputed journals and books on migration, gender, and much diversity of articles on a variety of social issues in different reputed newspapers as well. She has been working on tribal migration and diaspora in Koraput, Odisha. She is presently serving as the co-convener of RC04, Migration and Diaspora Indian Sociological Society, and so on. So with this, I would like to welcome all of you to this enlightening and highly engaging session. So the first speaker here is Dr. Ramesh Chandra Yadav, who will be joining us online. He is an assistant professor of sociology at Baiswara PG College, Lalganj, Rai Bareli, Uttar Pradesh. So a warm welcome to you, sir. Over to you for your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Am I audible? Am I audible, ma'am? Can you give me the power to share my PPT? Hello.
Sir, you have rights. You can say, sir. I can see your screen. First, you have to stop sharing and open your presentation first, then go to share screen button. Sir, are you getting my voice?
Yes, yes, I am getting your voice.
So you need to stop sharing top of your screen.
Stop sharing. New share, pause share.
Sir, could you please wait for 5 minutes? We are fixing a technical glitch.
So I stop from
Am
my
I
end.
audible?
So I stop your screen, sir. Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah, sir. Could you please wait for 5 minutes? There is some technical glitch. We are fixing it.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. I
Sir,
will
sir, meanwhile, you can check your presentation.
share screen show कर रहा है.
Sir, open your presentation first.
Okay. My God.
Sir, have you opened your presentation? Yes, now it's visible, sir. Just make it full screen.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
I can see your presentation, sir. Just make it full screen slideshow view. Yes, sir. Perfect, perfect, sir. Sir, just wait for 5 minutes. There is some technical issue in the seminar hall. I request you to please wait for some moment.
Okay, okay. Definitely I will wait.
Okay.
Hello. जी. Okay. Okay. Well, uh, as per conversation to the organizing secretary, she has advised me to start my presentation. So, first of all, good afternoon to the Rashmi Bala ma'am, who is chair of the session. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Can you go into slideshow mode, sir?
Yes, sir.
And good afternoon to everyone. My research paper topic is relevance of sustainable development goals, a sociological perspective. The sustainable development
Sir,
goals
can you make it in the full screen mode?
actually full screen में हमें visible नहीं हो रहा है तो ये
Okay, okay, sir. Then no issue. You can continue with this mode.
definitely. The sustainable development goals, also known as the global goals, are a set of 17 interconnected objectives established by the United Nations in 2015. They serve as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all by 2030. यूनाइटेड नेशंस ने ऐसा कहा कि हम 2030 तक जो है ये अचीव करेंगे. These goals recognize that addressing the world's most pressing challenges requires a comprehensive and integrated approach that encompasses social, economic, and environmental dimensions. The Sustainable Development Goals are a continuation of the Millennium Development Goals and aim to build upon their achievements while addressing their limitations. The global importance of the Sustainable Development Goals is manifold. The Sustainable Development Goals provide a comprehensive framework what addresses a wide range of issues including poverty, inequality, climate change, health, education, gender equality, clean water, and more. They recognize that these challenges are interconnected and requires collaborative efforts. The Sustainable Development Goals are applicable to all countries regardless of their level of development. They emphasize the shared responsibility of both developed and developing nations in achieving sustainable development. A core principle of sustainable development goals is to leave no one behind. They prioritize reaching marginalized and vulnerable populations, ensuring that the benefits of development are accessible to all members of society. The goals acknowledge the interconnected nature of global challenges. Sustainable development has been defined in various manners, with one of the most frequently cited definitions originating from our common future, often referred to as the Brundtland Report. It said what sustainable development entails advancing in a way that fulfills current necessities without jeopardizing the capacity of the forthcoming generation to fulfill their own requirements. The notion of the needs, specifically the fundamental needs of the world's unprivileged population, which should take precedences, the concept of limitation stemming from the current state of technology and societal structure, dictating the environment's ability to cater to both current and future necessities. The idea of sustainable development amalgamates social, economic, and environmental policies. It encompasses both development and conventional economic and political objective, and sustainability and ecological objective. Various United Nations documents highlight the interconnectedness and mutually reinforcing pillars of sustainable development, namely economic development, social development, and environmental safeguarding. Sustainable economic growth, the attainment of sustainable livelihoods coexisting harmoniously with nature and implementing sustainable technology all hold significance in the pursuit of sustainable development. Methodology, as we are concerned about the methodology, the research approach employed for this study is qualitative approach, specifically a sociological perspective. This research focuses on understanding the social dynamics, relationship, and interactions related to sustainable development goals. Qualitative research involves exploring in depth insights, perspectives, and meanings rather than numerical data subject to certain limitation as the research is based on the secondary data. A sociological perspective. For the implementation and realization of the sustainable development, it's essential to establish shared focal point that can unify the perspectives and endeavors of diverse global participants. This entails recognizing the variations in geographies, societies, economic, scientific, and technological capacities, as well as educational standards. Implications and recommendations. The study gives following implications. Firstly, strengthening measures that ensures equitable access to quality education for marginalized and economically disadvantaged groups, expanding the implementation of such practices across regions and educational institutions. Secondly, encouraging greater collaboration between educational institutions and local communities. Policies could support mechanisms for involving local stakeholders in decision-making processes related to education, further integrating these values into the curriculum. This might involve developing specific modules on civic responsibility, ethical decision-making, and social justice. Advocating for the inclusion of global citizenship, education as a core component. This might involve partnerships with international organizations, curriculum revisions, and cross-cultural exchange programs. Investi- Investing in continuous teacher training, professional development programs, and creating incentives to attract and retain quality educators. I would like to come on the conclusion part because we have very less time. With few expectations, sustainability, sciences engagement with sociology is marginal. We highlighted four overlapping conceptual and methodological aspects within sociology for integration into the core of sustainability science, analysis, and research. First one, the role of social construction and critical realism. The second one, the dynamic between structure and agency. Third one, historical specificity. And fourth one, the necessity of the collective action. These aspects of sociological analysis bring forward the complex interchange within and between different scales and levels of organization, the social context and fabric that influence knowledge and actions. The analysis underscores the importance of involving local communities in education policies that encourage community engagement, result in collaborative educational practices that reflect cultural diversity and respond to community needs. Emphasis on skill development resonates with sustainable development goals related to decent work and economic growth. The research suggests that aligning education with global citizenship principles encourages and understanding of interconnectedness. The cultivation of a global perspective contribute to tolerance, empathy, and the ability to address transnational challenges. Thank you so much for me providing the opportunity to say something about the international conference and about my research. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening talk. So, respected chairs, would you like to comment on this, or we can take the questions and comments after all the sessions?
I think after all the sessions, we can take questions.
Okay, ma'am, noted. Thank you. Okay, so the next speaker is in the offline mode, and Ramesh, sir, could you please stop sharing the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So our next speaker is Dr. Smita. She is an assistant professor of geography at AISS, and her topic is Yamuna Bank Biodiversity. So over to you, ma'am.
Very good afternoon to all of you. And I'm very grateful to the Amity Institute of Social Sciences and the people, those who have given me the opportunity to present the social mapping of the wetland diversity. First of all, my warm greetings to the Honorable Chairperson, Rajniwala ma'am, who is online, and the co-chair, Nuhur ma'am, who is online, and moderator, Asa ma'am, and very good afternoon to the faculty and the fellow researchers and the students. I'm going to present about the social mapping and the sustainable processing. This is about the Yamuna Biodiversity Park, which I have worked with 3 years of the exhaustive, elaborative framework for the wetland as such. And for this, I just want to say this is a how the SDG social sustainable development goals. There are 17 sustainable development goals along with the 169 targets, and how these 16 goals and targets synchronize or they are in sync with the socialization in total as a holistic perspective per se. This is like somehow we are trying to integrate the perspective of the society and the perspective of the environment and the wetland as such. So generally we are quite biotic perspective of the environment, and which generally we feel the abiotic and the biotic of the living flora and the fauna are non-existent for us. But frankly speaking, the existence of the biotic makes our existence. That is what is the perspective of the sociological environmental as so. So I'll be introducing the Yamuna Biodiversity Wetland, which in itself has given the perspective of the sociological interaction and the exchanges of the society and the environmental mapping. So this is Yamuna Biodiversity. My case study is one of the wetland of Delhi. Wetland, I'll say it's just a waterlogged area for the time being. So this is the wetland in Delhi. Delhi has seen many dynasties all across, right from the 6th century time. And this is the fall of the mighty independence during the eras of the independence. From there, we had a lot of wetlands, but right now you'll be surprised there are more than 1,045 wetlands all across the Delhi, which is having the sustenance of the people all across, not only in Delhi, but it's a complete NCR region. That is from the Aligarh to Alwar, from the east to west. It's the NCR, and now I think the NCT, the National Capital Territorial Region. And this 1,045 wetlands are sustaining the life forms of the water as well as the air in its capacitance of the environment. That is what is the importance of the wetland, which is existing a complete set of society in itself. So there has been, this capital has a massive transformation in the 73 years of the development. Then there are the ridges, Aravali Ridge, which you know is the oldest remnant of the Aravlis, is reaching the Jahan pe aaj Raisina Hills, the President House is there. And these Aravlis take care of the water levels which exist the entire Shayad. We are not in the urban sprawl, is not in sync with the wetland as such. Rather than the people, those who are residing in the peripheries in the slums area. So, you know, these dates back to the DDA establishment, Delhi Development Authority establishment, in sync with the biodiversity park establishment, because, you know, these biodiversity parks in natural is the lungs of the Delhi area, not the Delhi area, the Delhi NCR area. Why I say the lungs? Because, you know, all the floods, all the drains, they act as a cushion to this particular wetland and the flood plains of the area. Then there is the Center for Management of the Degraded Ecosystem, which was established by University of Delhi. I want to quote a person, Dr. C.R. Babu, who is in the Department of Environmental Sciences, University of Delhi. He is the main brainchild. You can Google later. He is the main brainchild who emphasized the social impact assessment and the people, and how the wetland as such is giving the importance and the life support system to the people, and why we need to have these recreational centers at the conservation to these areas. So this starts from the Delhi Ridge area, like the Neel Khas area, Northern Ridge area, Tughlakabad area, South Delhi area, And these earlier only the Delhi Development Authority was there to conserve this wetland, but now even the Delhi Jal Board has ventured into a sync with this wetland authority and the University of Delhi together. So now this Yamuna River, as you know, jahan pe aaj Red Fort hai, it was just by the side of the Yamuna River, but it has been shifted from the Red Fort area, and this shift has made the changes of more than wetland. I think geography wale Oxbow Lake padhe honge. So these Oxbow Lakes are the places where these wetlands exist, where the river has left its areas. So this shift of the river or the wetland has not only shifted the environment, but this has also shifted the people, because the land use has completely been changed from the wetland or the water source to the people living society as an urban aquifers and the water recreational benefits. So this is what just a social mapping. This is what you can see the Delhi, India, Delhi, and this is what is the river you can see. The blue ones, which is running, this is the Yamuna River. And Yamuna River from the northeast to the southeast area. This travels along, giving you many 1045 wetlands. Imagine these 1000 wetlands. After this, also the South Delhi area, which is having this particular wetland, is dearth of water. पानी की बहुत ज़्यादा scarcity है, in spite of 1045 wetland. So this is how, where you can see why this Yamuna was being flooded. That is what one of the reason we have seen latest was the impact of the Yamuna River flood, was because we don't have the recharge aquifers in the soil, and so these wetlands were vanished. But now because of these Yamuna biodiversity, why I'm saying, because these are the diversity from the northeast to the southeast, there are various wetlands which has been put into the restoration phases. Then let's have a bit of the geography, not geography, the phases of the Yamuna biodiversity. These has been two phases. One is the recreational phase and one is also still in the construction phase. So the phase one of the Yamuna biodiversity park is still in construction, and they are trying to restore. And you know how they are trying to restore? They are not trying to restore the water bringing in or pipping in, but they are trying to restore the entire wetland ecosystem with merging of the flora, with merging of the plants, with merging of the birds and the bees. That is what is the recharging the wetland in particular. So this diversity has more than 100 acres, sorry, not 1000, 100 acres of the wetland. And the process is continuing with the people across Delhi. And imagine wherever the Yamuna is traversing from the northeast, all the particular urban sprawl along with the people has been focusing to preserve by not intervening into the system where the environment is getting the recharge ones. So it's not the project of the environment, it's also the project of the people and the sprawl, which is enlarging or intervening in this particular. So there are various vegetation types, the emerging, floating, but you know, the vegetation types on the emergent surface are getting again degraded. That is what is a threat. And why this is degraded? Because what we throw the plastic, that is a non-degradable item, which takes 45,000 crores of years to merge into a or degrade to a system where it can have a recycling back it again. So this is what where the fear is, and the entire effort gets lost. So why this wetland? I have explained a bit, but these are just the points. The urban sprawl, which is making an effort. The climate change, why we need to have an effort. The industrial waste, why need to have the effort. All the industrial waste and the wastage garbage, आप मुकुंदपुर area के पास देख सकते हैं, बड़ा सा wastage का टीला है. So you know, these are the fields which gives you the sensation of, man, please get realized. Now is the time to conserve the degraded systems of the biodiversity of the humankind, and where we need to put in our back effort. So then the water pollution, why this is more focusing? Because the drain and the fresh water system of the Delhi NCR region are mixed, and this is what is the natural aquifers. हमें RO की जरूरत नहीं होगी अगर ये 1045 wetlands अगर recharge होंगे. So this is the impact of the society on the original drinking water what we are taking in every day. Then the habitat loss of the species. Why we need? Because you know, our connectivity with the system is only when, suppose if the percentage of oxygen drops in from 78% in the atmosphere to either 79 or 76. So that is what where our livability in terms of both atmosphere, both lithosphere and both the hydrosphere is dependent upon. So where we need to balance the exchanges of the water, oxygen and also the soil. So this is what here that where we feel that there is a detachment of the nature, and where this conservation effort, if included with the social impact and emancipation, will make a change, and then we can preserve it. Then is the what's the objective of the wetland protection? So these are the objective. We need to have the research opportunities and the environmental securities, groundwater recharge, improve the microclimatic. Why microclimatic? Because the climate change, which is a big impact on the society as such. Generally, we feel कि अभी तो it would have been a winter season, but still it has not set in. So this is not a weather impact where we feel strange of the weather forecast system or the warning system. We cannot be dependent. So we need to have the microclimatic impact and the studies and the research opportunities there. So what should be the checks and inception for the degraded forest system or the wetland is, this has a various perspective why this Yamuna wetland was being presented to have the medicinal plants, the bamboo the indigenous species, the exotic species. I'll emphasize the bamboo sorry, thoda niche tha wo. Bamboo why this has to be emphasized, that has been put in the major focus because these bamboos are being cut. There are two varieties we have in the NCR, that is the green and the yellow bamboo. So these two bamboos are being used for the paper making activities. Though we are Amitians, we are in the system where we have the online objectives and the online framework and the studies like that. But this paper saving mechanism will help a lot for the bamboo areas of this particular area. Then what are the parameters and why this impact of the studies is not only the environmental system, it's all the recreational activities has been set up by introducing the nutrient cycle and the fertility, where you can get into the set of your own fertility and the systems of objectives. So why the restoration? These restoration of the floodplains, imagine I have told in the beginning that the map where the Yamuna has shifted. So those areas which have already been left out by the river. So these areas are the floodplain or the catchment area which has been revamped, and these wetlands have been restored. So this is what is the success of most of the restoration activities by the DDA, Delhi Jal Board, and the visiting authorities of all the wetland authorities. Now the government of Delhi has also put up a wetland mitra. That is a concept started by Delhi government, and this wetland mitra you can join in, and you can also be part of the ongoing research area. So this is what the chronology of the mapping is. You can see the first map in the year of 2002, the impact, and then the year 2012. So this is how the complete social mapping of the wetland has been proceeded to achieve the goals of the sustainable development. Then these are the transformation. You can see the first image of the year 2002, and you can see the image which has been included and given the image of a complete wetland, which is an ideal wetland for the entire Delhi. Which is now, I'll conclude to have all of your participation. Maybe you can have a visit to the Yamuna Biodiversity. It's a fantastic place with a nature's paradise in. This is where you can have the mapping of the flora, fauna, what are the trees, and there is an information centers where you can see the videos of the development phases, and you can also meet the people around, and you can also not the people along with all the birds and the species. Thank you.
Thank you, Smita ma'am, for such an interesting presentation. Next, we have Miss Praful Yadav. She is a research scholar at Meerut College, and her topic is Stigma and Shame, Menstruation and Human Rights. Over to you, Miss Praful Yadav.
A very good afternoon to all. Thank you for being here. Today, I am presenting a paper. My topic name is Stigma and Shame, Menstruation and Human Rights. So, the background of my study. Menstruation, a universal biological phenomena, stands as a testament to the resilience of human body. Despite its inherent naturalness, it has endured centuries of cultural stigmatization and societal shame, becoming a silent yet profound violation of human rights for countless individuals globally. So here comes the introduction. As we all know, menstruation is a natural process which should be celebrated, but it remains an anomaly concealed behind veils of silence, stigma, and shame. Menstruation, a natural biological process experienced by billions of individuals worldwide, is paradoxically shrouded in enduring silence, stigma, and shame. While this fundamental facet of reproductive health should be a source of empowerment and pride, it is it has been historically being viewed through the distorted lens of cultural taboos, social discrimination, and gender biasness. Safeguarding the human rights of all individuals, regardless of their gender or reproductive status, necessitates confronting these pervasive issues. So my objective of the studies are to analyze menstruation stigma related manifestations and assess its impact on human rights and evaluate the effectiveness of initiatives and policies. And my methodologies I use for this paper is secondary data with content analysis. And my findings were the findings on the topic are not only widespread but also deeply entrenched across various societies. It is violating human rights, cultural and social norms play a significant role in perpetuating this stigma, especially within religious and traditional practices. Importantly, workplace discrimination and violence against menstruation individuals further exacerbate these challenges, perpetuating gender inequalities and hindering opportunities for economic independence. One striking revelation is the severe impact on mental health, with individuals experiencing stigma reporting higher level of anxiety and depression, leading to diminished self-worth. In the realm of education, particularly for girls, stigma creates a formidable barrier affecting attendance, participation, and academic performance. The multifaceted realities of menstrual stigma. In numerous cultures, menstruating individuals are considered impure during their periods, as we know, leading to their exclusion from religious rituals and cultural events. Inadequate access to clean and private facilities for managing menstrual forces individuals into unhygienic practices, risking their health and well-being. Derogatory terms and euphemisms are used to describe menstruation, contributing to negative perceptions such as periods को हम आंटी या रेड लाइट इस तरह से काफी सारी चीजें हम लोग बोलते रहते हैं. Menstruating individuals को हम emotionally weak भी समझते हैं कि they are weak, they can't do normal things. Comprehensive and accurate education in schools is vital. Workplace discrimination due to menstruation-related issues such as inadequate facilities or lack of support hinders career advancement. So my study found out that how menstruation-related stigma and human rights intersect. Stigma often led to omission of comprehensive menstrual health education. This violates the right to information. Menstruation-related stigma directly impact the right to health, compelling individuals to resort
to unhygienic materials due to shame associated with menstruation. The lack of access to sanitary products amplifies health risks, infringing upon the right to the highest attainable standard of health. Menstruation-related stigma exacerbate gender disparities in education. Girls often miss school during their periods, creating educational gaps that hinder their right to education and future opportunities. Menstruation-related stigma leads to social exclusion, isolated individuals, and eroding their sense of dignity. Discriminatory practice like menstrual hurts and seclusion violates human rights principles. Stigma limits career and economic opportunities, affecting the right to work and economic independence, leading to gender-based economic disparities. How can we advance human rights through menstrual equity initiative and policies? Combining effective policies, culturally sensitive awareness program, and menstrual-related stigma emerges as an indispensable battleground. So here comes the conclusion. In the relentless pursuit of human rights, in the relentless pursuit of human rights, addressing menstruation-related stigma and shame emerges as an indispensable battleground. This deeply entrenched societal issue spanning cultures, generations constitutes a silent violation of human dignity. Through the lenses of education, policy reforms, grassroots initiatives, and global awareness campaign, progress has been made. Yet challenges persist, rooted in culture norms, lack of awareness, and political resistance. This path needs a collective commitment. So here comes the conclusion for this paper. We have to act. We have to act, normalize the menstruation. No individual. No individual should bear the burden of stigma due to natural biological process. The fight against menstrual shame must align with broader movements for equality and justice. It is a call for inclusive conversation at the family dinner table, comprehensive education in schools, empathetic workplace policies, and unbiased media representation. In conclusion, the eradication of menstrual-related stigma and shame is not just a societal aspiration, it is a human rights imperative. It demands a seismic shift in attitudes, policies, and cultural norms by fostering environments where menstruation is met with respect and understanding. We ensure that every individual can experience their menstrual cycle with dignity, thus upholding their fundamental human rights. Only though unyielding collective efforts can we envision a world where menstruation is celebrated, not silenced, empowering individuals across gender spectrums to live without the shadow of shame, fully embracing their humanity. Empower a woman, empower a nation. It starts with understanding and embracing menstruation. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Ms. Shravani Sontake, who's a research scholar in Shiv Naval Institute of Eminence, Greater Noida. Can we please have video?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shravani Somtake, and I'm a fourth year undergraduate student from Shivnadar Institution of Eminence. The topic of my presentation is SDGs and the question of global justice. Um, the world is confronting a number of global issues which have caused us to view individuals from an entirely different perspective. Also prompted us to consider the question of sustainability as well as justice. In this paper, I tried to understand this concept and how they speak to each other. These concepts are fairly new in the literature and has developed over the course of 15 years through the contribution of various authors. Along with that, our understanding of planet as a whole is also recent, and planetary changes are understood in this domain newly. So the question of sustainable development has came into mainstream focus only in recent decades. The objective of my papers are to understand uh, the implementation of the sustainable development goals and to understand the question of global justice and how they are related to each other. In the era of unprecedented connectivity and global interdependence, our world has undergone a profound transformation. It has become closer than ever before, and globalization made a way for that. So, but along with that, it also raises a question of global justice, which has reached beyond the borders and is understood through the cosmopolitan view. In this shifting landscape, our understanding of justice is evolving. It compels us to grapple with the issues of fairness, equity, morality on a global scale. Along with that, the world at large has recognized the existence of numerous challenges such as environmental difficulty, climate change, and global warming. And these challenges has made us act on a global level urgently, as it has become the question of survival because of rapidly degrading situation. Global justice pertains to a fair and equitable treatment of individuals on a global level, going beyond the national and international boundaries, regardless of any identity of the individual. Global justice built on a key intuition and insight developed in the framework of a justice, and it has been traditionally explored in the context of local and national communities. It seeks to establish a framework for distributing benefits and burdens fairly among all the individuals and nations while addressing systematic inequalities and global challenges such as poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation. Similarly, we can say that built on Millennial Development Goals, Sustainable Development Goals were proposed in 2015 by United Nations on a global level to work on these challenges, which was accepted by 193 UN General Assembly, uh, and, and we can say similarly as just like the global justice perspective, the SDGs take a global perspective by acknowledging that these world challenges are interconnected and transcending national borders. They are also developed and implemented in a way that happens for a similar purpose as global justice. They also aim to eradicate inequalities, promote fair and just treatment of the people, and work on environmental and distributive justice. So, in a sense, we can say that global justice and sustainable development goals can be correlated in a various way, as both aim to address critical global challenges and promote a justifiable and sustainable world. We can assert that global justice and SDG share a common goal of addressing an eliminating inequality, protecting and promoting human rights and environmental sustainability, and global cooperation. Here, the global is a keyword. As they are connected, the question of global justice can be break down through the implementation of SDGs by taking the global justice framework into the consideration while implementation of SDGs, which also can be looked from the understanding of common ownership over the planet. As we are saying, we need a sustainable world for all and justice for all. We have to take common ownership over the planet into consideration, as we need to consider the common responsibility that should be shared globally to achieve both justice and sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So I would now request Dr. Rajnipala ma'am to say a few words, followed by Nupur ma'am, so that we can take up questions. Ma'am?
Yes, I'm here. So I think we had 4 papers today. First one was by Mr. Ramesh Chandra. He talked about social context and fabric which influence knowledge and action. And he very beautifully explained how the local communities should be included for this to improve the status of education and to make education policies. That is there in the new education policy also. We know that it's a very important point that the local communities should participate into this mission. And then Dr. Smita, she beautifully explained how we need to protect this wetland, we need to protect our wetlands. And she explained that these biodiversity parks are lungs of the area, but still there are problems like climate changes and urban spread and industrial waste and pollution also. And we all need to come together to solve all these issues. Praful Yadav, she has touched a very important topic we all face in this society, that is stigma and shame related to menstruation. And she talked about this natural process. We all know that. And still there is discrimination. It is not, it's a taboo. You need not to talk about this openly, because now the time is changing and we need to come out from all these taboos. And there is nothing related to shame, because the whole world, the whole community, everything around us, that is based on this only. We all are born with this system. So social discrimination and exclusion on the basis of this particular aspect is there's time to fight against all these taboos. And Shravani, she has talked about justice for all and the sustainable development goal and global justice. And it's a common responsibility for all of us. And I congratulate all the paper presenters for their wonderful presentations. And I'm very thankful to the organizers of this conference, especially Professor Bhoop Singh and Sanjana ji and others it's a great event, and my wishes are always there. So I'm very thankful you have invited me and have given me an opportunity to be a part of this. So now I can open this floor for discussion if somebody wants to ask any questions. And please specify to whom you are addressing that question to. Anybody who wants to ask any questions related to these 4 presentations?
The floor is open for questions in case anybody would like to ask questions to our fellow participants and presenters. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, if you have any questions for our presenters.
No, not questions, but I just want to congratulate them, because all of them, they have touched very different, diverse fields, and but very, in a very convincing way, they have put forth their arguments. So I will I just want them to go further in this research and to bring something more worth on this particular issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I would like to invite Dr. Nupur to speak a few words, and Dr. Nupur is here. Yes.
Very good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank the moderator, I think Suyasha, and the rapporteur. I think they are all here. Astha, the moderator, Dr. Astha Mishra, and rapporteur Anjali Bose. I think they were here. So thank you so much. And first of all, my chair, Dr. Professor Rajniwala ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful explanations about the papers. So I think I totally agree with Professor Rajniwala ma'am, because whatever she said about the 4 papers, they were really excellent. And they have touched each and every aspect of the entire thing, whatever they have done. I think they can go for further elaboration of this paper, and they can publish it in some of the journals working on it, and can do a lot of work over this. And next, I would say that there are several papers, but there was a very interesting paper. There was by Praful Yadav, research scholar, Meerut College, I think, Stigma and Shame, Menstruation and Human Rights. I think this was a very wonderful paper, and it really talked about the things that is really happening in our society, and this is how it's a thing that occurs today. I think if there is something that we can ask about, like I have a question from my point of view, that can we solve this problem of the shame or the stigma? What is her perspective if she wants to speak something? Praful Yadav, if she wants to have any perspective about this. So can we have her?
Can we have Praful Yadav here? Yes. You have a mic. You can come here and speak as well. Can you come here and speak so that you're visible?
Yes, ma'am. By changing our attitudes, and we have to take some education programs. We have to conduct some education programs and some policies. By that we can change this attitude, and we can normalize this periods. And even अगर हम देखें तो आज के टाइम पे काफी ज्यादा चेंज आ भी गया है, और अभी बहुत ज्यादा आना बाकी है. अभी अगर इतनी अच्छा एजुकेशन, अभी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव एजुकेशन की तरफ काम हो रहा है, और इसको एज अ टैबू बहुत जगह अभी रूरल एरिया में अभी इतना नहीं है, बट अर्बन में देखा जाए तो काफी ज्यादा अभी इम्प्रूवमेंट है.
Okay. I hope she was audible, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Praful. So this is really very nice, and I congratulate four of the presenters for this wonderful job. And lastly, I would like to thank the Amity University, Professor Bhoop Singh Gorsa, the organizing secretary, and all of the people who have made this wonderful webinar, and placed several people from different backgrounds. So I thank a lot for this opportunity, and I wish this webinar a great success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would take this opportunity to thank our session chair and co-chair. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here, for hearing out our dear participants. I would also like to thank Dr. Sanjana Sharma Marwama, Dr. Shruti Singh, and the team for bringing up such a huge conference in today's time, which is very important, I believe. I would also like to thank Dr. Astha Mishra, who was the moderator of the event, and the organizing team for organizing this so smoothly. Thank you so much, all the presenters. We have Ramesh Chandra sir, we have Smita ma'am, we have Praful Yadav, we have Shravani Sondati for such beautiful presentations and also the audience who are here. With that, I would like to take the permission of ending and closing today's ceremony. Again, a big thanks to Rajni ma'am and Nupur ma'am for being here, even through the online mode. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. All the best.